Alright, this is a 2011 Ram 2500. It's got a 6.7 Cummins in it, and I am getting ready to change the front differential fluid. The only thing I've done so far is just remove the drain plug. When you look at it, here on the very end, if my camera will focus here, there we go. You're going to have some silver. It's hard to explain the texture of this, but it's just kind of slimy, but almost like a clay. That is just some ground down metal from inside your differential. It's completely normal as long as there's no chunks or anything or a crazy amount. I haven't changed the fluid in this truck before, so who knows how long it's been since it's been changed, but I'm going to change it now, and it's a pretty straightforward process. I'm not going to actually film myself doing all the work, but it doesn't take many tools. The plug here is just the end, and that was bad timing by my compressor, but so back to this drain plug. This is just the end of a 3/8 drive socket wrench or extension. Now on the front, focus, on the front here, you have the whole drag link and everything. It's kind of in your way, so you can't really use extensions or anything. If you've seen my video on the rear differential, it's pretty much the same process. You want to remove the plug first, because it would suck to get your cover off and break that apart and then this be seized in there. So you want to make sure you can get this off and then be able to fill that differential with fluid. Otherwise you're going to be stuck with a differential with no fluid, so that wouldn't be good. So take this off first. That's step number one. Remove all the bolts. You want to leave 2 on the end, so when I take all these bolts off, I'm just going to take this one and this one over here. I'm going to loosen up, but I'm not actually going to take fully off. That way when this case breaks free, it's not going to come crashing down and make a mess everywhere. So the tools needed, I've got my impact wrench out. The only reason I have that is to remove those bolts, just because it makes quicker the job, but this is completely not necessary. I just have, this was the socket wrench I used to remove that drain plug, or the filler plug really, and then you also need a torque wrench. The bolts on the outside rim, those are going to be torqued down to 30 pounds, and then the plug itself gets torqued down to 24 foot-pounds. Again, pretty straightforward process once you have it all apart. When I take it out, I spray the inside of the cover, not the actual gears or anything, just the cover. When I have the cover off, I go out in the yard and set it down and spray the inside and spray all around it with brake cleaner. That way it cleans up. Once I have that, and while I'm doing that, I also usually paint the cover just because it's off the truck. Why not? So I put a coat of black paint on there, and then that also gives the differential time to drain completely. So once the paint's dry, I put it back on, and then I tighten all the bolts. You want to hand tighten them at first, then when you torque them, do it in a star pattern. Everything's pretty straightforward though, and it's just, there's no different really from any other car. This is the process I've always used. The bolts themselves, and I'm going to double check this because I haven't checked the front yet, but they are. It's a 13mm socket. So that's really all you need: a 13mm socket, torque wrench, and a 3/8 drive socket wrench to take this plug off. At least a 3/8 drive extension if you have an adapter from a half drive or whatever, but that's how that comes off. So I will get all that done and let you know if I run into anything. Alright. Had a little bit of a setback, but not bad. And I know lighting sucks down here, but I don't have a shop light. I just moved, so lost it somewhere, but there we go. That looks better. But so I removed all these bolts. I left one up here in, and I left one on this side, so, you know, it's loose, but it's not, it didn't, you know, it's not gonna fall on you, or you know, fall and make a mess everywhere. So left those 2 bolts in. What I ran into is, because you have the suspension stuff, you've got the drag linkage here, and then you got the track bar. The track bar was in the way of these 2 bolts right here, so I had to pull out a 13 millimeter wrench to get to those, which of course whoever did the last change tightened the shit out of those, so it was a pain in the ass, but it wasn't too bad. Just had to put all my weight into it. So anyways, got that done, and then I'll be getting that cover off in a second, and I just wanted to show you what fluid I was using, which is this right here. I've been using Valvoline products in this truck since I bought it, so figured I'd stick with that. So this is what I'm using. It's what the owner's manual calls for my truck. So now another thing, instead of just using the standard cap, here I got another one, I'll show you. I got this long hose, which will help, especially in the front, but let's go on this side. So when you buy these, they have a little nozzle on the top like that, which, I mean, that works. You should be able to get it in there, but definitely for the front with all the linkages and suspension parts and stuff that's up there, that hose is gonna be nice. So I will break that cover off and keep going and let you know where I get. All right, all done. I know you can't really see that, but yeah, it all went pretty smooth. The front differential took almost 3 quarts, and the rear took about 3.5, 3 3/4, somewhere in there. But yeah, pretty straightforward. And if you got any questions or issues, throw them in the comments, and I'll answer them if I can.